Welcome back, you all, to the Insecure audio commentary here on the Polaris Network. I'm one of the co-founders here, Bree Mei-Li, who is a huge fan of Issa Rae and all her endeavors, including Insecure, which you're hearing about right now. I do have a lovely panel of co-hosts, of course, that I want to introduce to you all. So, Melissa, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's Melissa from According to This Black Girl podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Ashley Mariscal.
And it's Ashley R. of Body Art Noir.
And this is Yakira.
Hey, welcome everyone. I'm so excited you're here. This is Yakira's first episode. Hi. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump into this episode 3, Pressure Okay. Definitely a lot of pressure. I felt it. It started creeping up in my soul the last second of episode 2. And now we're here with Lawrence. So I guess I'll start. I've always been on back and forth with Lawrence, but I always had a genuine deep love for him because he always seemed like a genuinely good guy. So even though he especially because he kind of it's a lot of impact, so I'm not even going to get into there. But
you need a full analysis.
Right, because I would have to go into that. So it was such a tense filled episode, and the acting on it was just so great because I just felt tension the whole time between Lawrence and Condola. But I just want general thoughts right now, and then we can just go into the deeper question of the meat of this episode. So who do any of y'all want to say anything about it?
I believed it. It was so believable. I was watching it like it was like my friends. Like this could be a real thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I just they had me from the very beginning, just kind of okay, yeah, so we're closing that chapter, hopping into a new chapter, and then boom, you're on a date, minding your business, and you're like, oh shit. And sis really thought he was joking. She was like, that would be hilarious. Real life.
That laugh.
Yeah. Right. and left.
Laughter. No, but the girl in the beginning, she was really pissing me off. I'm like, why are you gonna look so disinterested the first seconds of it? But then she was like the date.
Yeah, she did. She was ready to go.
I was like, yeah, get her off the screen now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a San Francisco dating culture. I was wondering if that had anything to do with it, but yeah, she was already not feeling him. But okay, did anybody else think that apartment was way too big? I was just like,
wait, for him?
Yeah.
That looked like a little mini house.
Right. I know he's making more money, but I'm thinking, how are you affording this? I know you got
obviously job. Lawrence has stepped it up. Issa really needs to circle back because he is making bank.
Making bank.
Because for him to see that was such exponential growth, I think that's the word I want to use. For when he was just not working, and now he's making looks like 6 figures now. I'm like, how?
I remember when he was just on the couch,
right. I feel like I've been in the couch phase for 10 years. I'm waiting for that top moment of growth. But what was it? What was I about to say? Or did anyone else have anything to say about?
I was going to say about Lawrence. I feel like I wasn't really a Lawrence fan, throughout the season, the series, but this episode, I don't know why I was feeling for him really bad, because he was really trying,
Mm-hmm.
So I can say that the acting was really on point because I actually started to like him a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say shout out to Derek for him talking to Lawrence during that party. That whole thing about
that moment,
how the energy about feeling how the baby can feel that energy, that is 100% true. Because it kind of was I'm glad that was brought up. So I just want to give him a quick shout out for he definitely grew up from season 1. So I just want to
Derek's character grew up from there. You said, No, that was a great moment. I love those little moments where Lawrence had a touch of reality with other people. and he really started like breaking away from this strong ego, like dislike about Condola, because he obviously had he was upset because of what he did with it broke Issa him up, and then the fact that he wanted what was it? He wanted to he never had a say at the beginning if he wanted to keep the child, which he brought up later. I forgot what point I was trying to make there. Shoot, I'll figure it out. Probably like a little.
Was everybody kind of was expecting to see Issa in that at that party?
At the party, I was waiting for Issa.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad that they gave us a little bit of space here. There was too much drama already.
A lot.
We didn't need any more. We did
True.
not need any more.
Yeah.
Right.
Enough pressure.
That's
right.
Exactly, because I felt constricted in that.
I think it speaks to how strong the episode was that Issa didn't have to be in it, and it was still so far for me of the season the best episode so far.
The best.
I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I felt definitely. I definitely want to go more into Condola for a second, because as the episode started off, I really wanted to dislike her, like truly. And her actions started building up on that. And then I had to take a step outside of it. I'm like, the actress in me, it was looking at like, or actually the actress and the person in me was looking at Condola like, I dislike her, but let me see why she's acting this way so I can like see her perspective. And I felt for her, because it's like she had like resistant energy naturally, because she was kind of scared, and she kind of revealed why she was scared, because she distrusted Lawrence. But I don't know, like I could see her perspective, like just being there all the time, but still being scared to let him all the way in, because she doesn't know, because it's like a new parent thing. But yeah, what are your thoughts about Condola and just how she was acting? Yeah.
Well, I think, what I found interesting, just kind of being obviously outside looking in, it seems as though, like, I guess, first of all, the time jump, like, I don't think it's been quite an entire year, because she was already pregnant before she left, and then obviously you have the baby. So I'm guessing this is about 7-8 months, because depending on when she found out that she was pregnant, then you have the time from there, and then of course having the baby. So it's not quite as big of a jump as we saw in the previous episode, but it seems to me as though there hasn't been very much conversation between the two of them as to really what the plan of action was. Like I think that sets up where we're going into this. You walk in, your baby's already named. And I can feel for Lawrence in that moment, because it's like, what how do we get here when I just got here, that kind of, you walked in
that
on
new energy.
On that having already been established. And it seems as though, neither one of them did their due diligence as far as really talking about what this looks like, because I feel like every time he is trying to make the effort, and I guess this will get back to Condola, it's always like, oh yeah, sure, we're going to talk about this, let's wait to get a little closer, and so I feel like neither one of them have, again, sat down and really talked about how do we co-parent. Nobody read a book. I feel like Condola would have read a book, and she'd be like, here's the notes. Like, that's what I feel. But it feels like they just kind of went their separate ways, and now kind of meshing back together in a way that's obviously chaotic.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going back and forth about it, because like when he got the text and he got there and baby was already named, I was like that's messed up. But then later when he was like, I'm gonna be in all these appointments, and I'm thinking, well, she's been pregnant for 9 months. Why weren't you at those appointments before? So that's, and then I'm thinking that, so I just kind of, I had to rewind for a second. Like, you should have been there. That could have been where your communication could have gotten stronger to the point then having the baby. And then, so I had to think of those moments too, because I feel like a lot of times on the show they make Lawrence look like the victim, and then really he's the guy that's
when you look deeper into it, right?
I agree with that. I'm on that side. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, I do feel like I think she kind of has a right to feel her way because she's dealing with the baby like 24/7, and he can pop in and pop out when he wants, and it sounds like to us, we were like, oh my God, we feel for him. He wants to see his baby. He wants to name him. But like if you really cared that much, you could have texted her, you could have called her. You know what I'm saying? When she was pregnant, if you cared that much. So I'm kind of on Condola, like with Condola on this one, like on that part.
And I feel like I think what he was saying to Derek about, there's men out there, they're not even there. And so I think he thinks just showing up is enough. Yeah. Because there's men out there that don't show up.
Yeah. So, I think with Lawrence, though, I think you're right about because someone isn't doing something, the little effort that you put in should be enough.
Yeah.
But I do also think that same situation that they had with her not trusting him with the baby, married couples go through that with babies.
Same.
Yeah. And so that's a natural thing that mothers go through with babies. So I don't have any kids, but so I hear that mothers go through that with their babies. But the way she said it with her chest like that was like, it wasn't like I just don't trust you, it's my baby. It was kind of like, you, Lawrence, because we're not together, we broke up. She had a lot of energy behind that. I don't trust you.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just like, I need to rewatch this episode because, again, that acting just made me feel, it was really good. I just want a round of applause because this was like, Issa even tweeted this was her favorite episode, and I see why. I didn't get to see who directed it, but it must have been the same director, Melinda. I think that's her name. Oh my gosh, if you listen to this, I am so sorry if it's something different. But oh my goodness. Did you all get to see like a little snippet of like next week? Like
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, like it looked like they were traveling like they were in a different country. Or something, and I'm wondering if next episode is like a filler episode. That's what I'm scared of. I don't want to do another like a foundational
it looked like
episode.
there was a lot going on. It still felt like there was a lot going on with that little bit that I saw. I do think that there's a lot. But can I just talk about Kiki for just a minute?
Yes,
anybody else on the floor? I was dying. She's hilarious.
She's hilarious. Yeah.
I love her in all her roles. Like I was a huge Star fan on Fox. Like I watched
Star.
It was so good. I was so heartbroken that it ended.
I'm still mad about it.
Oh my! Can we talk about you in another day? As a Star? Oh my goodness. But Keke Palmer and Star just like every time I see her in a different role, I love her even more. Like Dope, was it Dope or Brotherly Love?
Brotherly Love, that's what she was in. Yeah, she was good. She's good. Why don't she's so talented, and I feel like I would like be her best friend like in real life. Like
yes, she has
so
that
humble.
Energy.
I love her.
Yeah.
And it's so naturally to think that she would add Keke Palmer in this because Issa Rae's the same way. I think I would love to be like Issa Rae seems like one of those people you could just vibe with, like Keke. But yeah, Keke Palmer's, and I love the like ride or die because that's how I think too. Like I don't care about anything else that's happening in the situation. I am loyal to you and only you. But I think that kind of like settled in that distrust for Lawrence with that because she still had that energy with her and her sister there, and her sister backing up that energy, which is making her that Lawrence and Condola disagreement happening like even bigger than what it needs to be since communication wasn't at hand. But yeah, I am excited for next week.
Did anybody catch the subtle dig, or not? It wasn't really a dig, but the subtle way Kelly told her Issa is thriving. Don't worry about my girl.
Thriving in abundance, limitless, or something like that.
Yes.
I love Kelly. I live for her.
Don't worry about
best friend. Yeah. And then Lawrence's friend. What's Lawrence's friend? I forgot his friend's name. Chad.
I love him.
Oh,
Like
He's
Chad.
funny.
that is the worst.
I forgot.
He's so funny though, y'all. He's so funny.
He is.
I
He's
love
like
him.
one of those. Yeah, he's one of the little slept on favorite characters.
Yeah, I
feel
really
like
love him. Like he's so funny to me.
He's funny.
and he makes every situation like so fun to listen to through his highs.
He's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness. I do want to also talk about Kelly's speech about the baby.
Oh
my
gosh,
God, that
little
took
demons.
me out.
The
An
demons.
angel amongst demons. Like,
That last
come on.
line, I think I wrote that down because I was like, "That's genius."
Yeah,
That was
I
good.
wrote that down.
she made
That
me
was a
feel like
memorable
I
line.
need to step up on being a godmother
Oh,
after
for
watching
sure.
this. Like that's crazy. I know my best friend's gonna text me and be like, you see Kelly, right? I'm like, so I know that's gonna. I have to be prepared.
Oh, hilarious. And then, of course, Pepper Pig with the hard
Pepper
ER.
Pig.
Yeah,
That was
I love
genius.
everything about that. The cousin was just out there having a good time.
Hilarious. Oh
He's
man.
a hard ER. Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
So yeah,
Oh,
it
I
was.
have one more thing. Sorry.
Oh no, go
I
ahead.
actually love the split screen
Yeah.
where they
Oh,
had
that was
both of their
good.
lives going on at the same time. I thought that was just beautiful artistry, just really showing us in the same space, like how vastly different. And we all know this. I mean, anybody who has not me, I don't personally have children, but I have friends that have kids. And so being able to know that that's really what it's like, and just that separation of Lawrence actually feeling in that moment, like he could kind of have it all. Like he's figuring it out over here. He's, living his best life and going back and forth. And then you have this, on the other hand, a very tired, just trying to, keep it together because, it's tough. It's a tough transition on your body. It's a tough transition mentally and emotionally because kid can't talk to you and you're trying to anticipate what they need and also kind of take care of yourself. So I thought that was a beautiful way to show how vastly different things are going for each one of them.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And the way that they ended it with him calling her after, I guess he thought he was going to die or whatever. I thought that was great that they came to some kind of conclusion. The only thing I didn't like is that Condola didn't say that she was sorry too. It's like that you have to apologize. Like he apologized to you. You didn't let the baby go. There was all types of stuff she did wrong in that conversation. She should have. They should have had her say, "I'm sorry."
I think. Yeah, I agree. But I feel like if she doesn't believe if she's really not sorry, then she shouldn't apologize. Like maybe she really doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying, that she was wrong, and then I feel like if she apologizes, that's just fake.
Right,
but
but if she doesn't
will.
think so, that's a problem. Like in that,
she probably will eventually if once he. I guess she sees that he's really stepping up.
Right.
And I think in the future I can see her being like, hey, I apologize, for. Not trusting you. You've really proven yourself. I feel like that could come up.
Oh, not for the not trust, but for the way that argument went down. Like, they
they
both were messed up.
Right.
He's apologizing. Yeah. He's like always she's taking the baby. It is their baby. Like, legit. Yeah. They have no custody papers, it didn't look like. So, y'all
in that moment,
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that because she definitely had some, because the fact that she agreed and then all of a sudden said no just because she was like, I don't like you right now, so no.
Yeah. And it seems children are going to be fussy, and I think that's the tough part is like I think that's the part in which I feel for Lawrence because he shows up at the time he's supposed to. It seems as though wherever he's taking her is the son, shall I say, is in walking distance. So it's not like I'm taking the kid to San Fran. It's I'm going around the corner. I want to, again, try to establish this bond. And it didn't feel like it took that much for it to escalate on her end. It was like, I want to soothe the baby. And she's like, I got it, and then from there, it was it's such a quick turn of emotions and all the things that come out, which is exactly what an argument is about. But it can be kind of frustrating because it feels like he has tried to prepare and put her mind at ease in the way that seems like it would make sense for him and for her, if at all possible.
That's what I
already didn't want the baby to go with him, though.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she
the
wasn't ready. She
episode.
shouldn't have agreed to it.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, I don't think she should have. If she was gonna just like, you know, change her mind, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of going back and forth. Like, I think the idea, like, Condola did, like, she had that moment of, like, oh, I want to work on this through, like, the birthday text. Like, you want to come with me? Because she was been, like, a cold, like, the first few encounters, but then she actually took, like, initiative and was like, okay, let's work this out. That's how I took it as.
And I think... Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. That was the point I was making.
No, and I definitely think that somebody brought up earlier that this even happens within married couples, and I think just even the thought of them, like him introducing the baby to solid foods, which is no big deal, and I know from, like, again, my friends' experiences, even with people together, there's still going to be that tension. There's still going to be the things that I think is normal that you think is abnormal, and again, I think for me, being at this point in my stage, it just also reminds me and people how important, like, a parenting agreement can be, so that you guys can, again, it's a lot of forethought for something that definitely wasn't planned, and I definitely think that a lot of people could benefit from actually doing some other steps, because going into parenthood is just, it's wild, and so being able to have, like, a professional sit down and be like, let's hash this out, even though I know that's not the point of the TV show, but it made me think about, like, all of the different steps that go into creating a human and raising a human, that it seems that sometimes get mixed, and then you're still going to have your disagreements, but at least having some ground rules would make it easier to kind of deal with one another.
Yeah.
They should put that, as my friend likes to say, got that white man paperwork and had it, written down in a custody agreement, what we can do, what we can't do.
Facts.
And then it's...
Did Melissa's audio go out? Are you still here, Melissa?
Yep, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Oh, you finished. That was a period.
Yep, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're fine. Oh yeah, that was just, that gave me a new admiration to, like, co-parenting, like people who are actually making it work, because I can't even imagine how much is required of that. So I never knew that. So that's interesting. A lot of reflecting on this episode as well for me. But yeah, any final thoughts, y'all? We kind of, like, we went through a lot. Through this.
It was a good episode.
It was, yeah. Oh, cool. I'm so excited to talk about next week's episode. I'm definitely going to rewatch this one like 3 more times. But wow.
Yes.
Really deep.
I had a thought process. Do you think that Lawrence is going to move back to LA? Is that like an implied thought?
I think so, for sure. Because I think he's very dedicated. Like, he's definitely wants to put all his he looks like he wants to really be in his son's life. So
I think he's going to reprioritize and focus on being a father first, I think.
As he should, yeah. He needs to.
Right.
I think he thought he could do everything like we said, and now it's like, no, I can't. I have to, I can't stick with what I'm doing. So
yeah, I hope that they, with him moving back to LA, they're able to figure this out, because like Derek said, the baby can feel that energy. So hopefully, and he not had a big apartment in LA. So
of course. I'm rooting for you, Lawrence, if you can hear me. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this was such a great episode. A really great discussion, y'all. I loved all y'all's points. I'm definitely gonna like journal about this afterwards. um, but yeah, I'll talk to you all next week. Thank you again for this. And everyone listening, please follow the ladies here. It's going to be down below in the description. So like this video, and we'll see y'all next week.